The Fractals are playing on the Saturday stage in the afternoon. What can people expect from a Fractals show in the afternoon? I know we've seen them a lot at night, but
even higher energy. We're only going to be playing for an hour, so playing out all the stops. Got some new stuff, old rockabilly tunes, high energy. Just we're lighting the candle and letting it blast.
you have a bit of a. Seems like it's kind of some, not necessarily all stars, but I mean it's a lot of veterans of the music and the local northern Minnesota music scene that are part of your group.
Right, that's true. Barry Percola has been around doing a lot of different gigs for a long time. Jimmy Cooper, both of them playing guitars. And Super D, Darren Wallace, playing great bass. And of course me, I'm doing the drum stuff.
Now, I can't remember, has Lefty ever played with you guys?
Lefty was with the band quite a few years, and we made a change around the beginning of the year here, beginning of 2012. And of course, Lefty had a medical problem here a few months ago, so we're all waiting for him to get back in the saddle.
Yeah, so and that's been a hard thing on his family, and but you guys have been. It seems like you guys have kind of been there with him, and also playing, like the benefit and other things for Lefty. That was really nice to see.
All right.
How did you get involved with this Bridge Fest and the the Music Resource Center and the flood relief and some of the other causes that they're involved in?
Well, we've actually been involved for a few years. I think we've done things for the last 2-3 years that I recall in the summertime, sort of some of the people that are involved. So we've had a relationship for a number of years now, and it's been smaller things. Like I think it started out in a garage, and so to see it blossom in a much bigger way is really a fantastic evolution.
Yeah, I mean you're on the stage with Sarah Thompson and Michael Laughing Fox are going to be playing a little bit before you guys. Charlie Parr he's a very widely renowned artist, also really connected to the community. It's and that's just we're not even into the afternoon sun yet with those shows.
Right. Yeah, and Charlie, international superstar. So yeah, we love all the performers, and we're going to have a blast. Some of the best times for us are going to be backstage, chatting with our pals, and of course when you're on stage, it just becomes a blur, a frenetic blur of excitement.
What is you've done Bridge Fest before, and you've played with a lot of these people in different incarnations or played for them. What do you expect the vibe is going to be like, in the festival area, in the musicians area, or wherever it's going to be?
Well, it all feeds on each other. What happens right out in front of the stage, what happens back into the crowd, and what happens on the stage and backstage, it all becomes like one entity, and they all feed off each other. And so it's really hard to separate it, except trying to get, there are some probably restricted areas for performers only, and that just becomes like a little community club for musicians. Really a fun time, really. And that's the stuff that should be shared and documented and stuff with video. Oh,
really? Are you going to bring your camera down?
No, it's too hard to get permission to do that because then it loses its really intrinsic value to the musicians. They have to, because they don't want to be on at that point. They just want to be enjoying themselves.
Kind of like lightning in a bottle kind of thing?
Yeah.
you've been you play percussion with the Fractals. You play with a number of bands. You've done solo stuff. I mean, I remember having you come down and just play hand drums with different, for Speedy Weenie and some other stuff. So, how long have you been doing music?
Me, 45 years. I'm a vet now, I guess. Anything over 40 years makes you just a veteran on the scene, just from the number of gigs that are notched into your belt. Once you get over 1,000 gigs, then you really become a seasoned performer.
People have been talking, especially this spring, with a lot of the success of one of the other performers that's going to be on the bill on Sunday, Trampled by Turtles. They had their national TV appearance, and they're really moving a lot of records and getting a lot of crowds. And some of the other people that you're playing with from the local scene, Hobo Nephews and Healy Bonner, who's not on this, not on this bill, but I mean has been really successful. Charlie Parr, you mentioned. Do you think that there's of those maybe 40 years that you've been playing music, do you think that this is a special time, or is it just something that's been growing, or does it just seem special because we're experiencing it?
Well, it definitely happens in waves, and you've seen waves from the early 60s, and the waves keep getting shorter. It was like about a 12-year wave. Now it's down to about a 6-year wave. So like every 6 years, so probably about 5 years from now, there'll be another really strong local wave building, of really powerful entertainment and big events. Mark it on your calendar.
People have
2017.
I got last question. I could probably talk to you all day though, Marv, but people have been talking about a Duluth sound, kind of like when I was, in my, formative or coming up years of music. They talked about the Minneapolis sound, and they've talked about, Boston and other communities. Austin, obviously, there've been different communities, but this talk of the Duluth sound, is that for real? Is that legit, or what do you think?
Well, I think it is. Duluth is somewhat segregated because of distance, climate, and it becomes sort of an introspective thing. And we have we have a lot of cold weather indoors, and people hang out and interact. So it's somewhat isolated in that way. We have some big cities and people that are courageous enough can do some travel around the country and stuff, and get more nationalized. But Duluth does have a particular sound, and right now the duos are really big. People going out and playing music, and of course that big college scene with the bluegrass and the folk instruments are really pounding really hard right now.
You're going to be pounding hard on those skins tomorrow in the park, right?
Absolutely. Going to leave it all on the stage.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us, Marv.
Yeah, love it.